live chat going, get everything going. Oh, thank you for whoever is tuning in and gave a like already. Thank you. But welcome back, everyone. Another live stream unboxing, another week, another Friday. I am Justin, the Zilla, returning after a week off of live streaming and doing my thing. Excuse me, I want to make sure my microphone is on there. But we've returned after a week being away. Well, not really a whole week, but essentially a whole week. But being gone, being out of town, went to my home state. Well, my yeah, I guess. Well, not really my home state. This is my home state where I live in, but you know, went out of town, went out of state is what I mean. To a different state to where all my extended family were. We had a little get together, a little time for us to get with the fam. Every summer, we always kind of do that. Like every summer, every Christmas, that's our times. That's when we're free to get going and do our thing. But yeah, it was a nice week, chilling out, being in the heat, in the southern heat specifically. So hanging out there, doing our thing, as y'all can tell. But it was a good time, and also was able to get a video out. I literally did it. Yeah, I literally got it done the day of it came up. Me. Hello, Gabe. Welcome. Welcome back, bro. But yeah, but hope y'all enjoyed the video. I got done finally after like what 2 years of sitting on that video. Finally got the NECA Catwoman of Channel 6 review done. Basically, oh, Gabe. The Justin, the Zilla. Guess what I got today? What you got, Gabe? Got any Godzilla stuff or any cool figures? I assume that's what you're referring to. But yeah, we got a lot of updates to give. Because I don't think... I'm trying to remember what I did. I don't think I showed it. Okay, I think I did. I don't know if it was. It probably was. Okay, yeah, it probably was the week that I was leaving. Got 2 original Jurassic Park novels. Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, I remember us talking about that, like talking about getting the books and everything. Oh, okay, yeah, but that's cool. Yeah, that's cool, Gabe. Kind of getting the original versions, I guess. Is it like the 2 original, like the first 2 books? I assume. Yeah, 2. Okay, the 2 original. Yeah, Jurassic Park novels. Awesome. Yeah, those are probably super sweet. I mean, I got a friend. I think he has just the first one, but he's like, it's so good, bro. You gotta read it at some point. So at some point, I'll definitely get it. But that's cool, Gabe. Definitely a unique thing to kind of get. It's always kind of like, I guess, like a staple of like, if you're a nerd and you like monsters or dinosaurs or just crazy sci-fi kind of stuff. Not even really sci-fi, I guess just, well, I guess it's science fiction in that sense, but, you know, not like tech, big old tech thing, more kind of like organic, biomechanical. Bio-sci-fi? I don't know if that would be a thing. I don't think it is, but just fiction, I guess. Just general fiction or fantasy fiction. I don't know, but yeah, but cool getting those original books. I mean, Jurassic Park as a novel series is apparently great. So yeah. But Gabe says I would suggest getting the Barnes and Noble 2-in-1 exclusive, but I heard the red ink bleeds. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I'd be worried about that. I'd be like, don't like that. If you can't, print a book, make sure it's gonna last. I'm like, what are y'all doing? So I got them separately. I guess that makes sense to get the 2 books. I'd probably do that then, at least myself, just for, I guess, longevity wise. And it's nice to have the separate stories, so you can jump into it differently. Have your own thing. There's like a little crease in my hat. Well, there's creases there. There's creases everywhere. I am like getting. Plus, it's cheaper. I mean, makes sense. If it's cheaper anyways, just to get the regular, like, two by themselves, why do the two for one? It's weird. But, in any case. Yeah. But, lots to catch up on. Of course, went out of town. Doing stuff, checking out stores there, shops there. Unfortunately, I knew that there was one collector shop that was there in my hometown. Yeah, that I was visiting, and they closed down. Unfortunately, back in February, and I didn't even know. I was like, "Where's this place?" Because I kept trying to like look on, on the maps because I knew their address, and I was like, something's not adding up because they keep not popping up, and I'm kind of the building's there. There's pictures there. I'm just like, man, and so yeah, they unfortunately closed down, and I didn't even know. I was like, damn it, man. I was like so ready to go see that shop again because that's where I got for instance like the Kazar. I got him at their place. And did I get anything else? I know I got other stuff there. I just can't remember what exactly. I know it was like a pretty good haul. I mean, that was like one. Okay, yeah, that was back in like Christmas of last year. So if I look back on there, I know I have like a big haul. Yeah, from around Christmas time because I was like, I'm buying stuff. I'm buying stuff before the end of the year. I gotta get all this stuff, and I did. So, but this one we got a pretty decent haul. No comic book stores really in my hometown area, unfortunately. There was also a vintage toy store that was there for a few years, but that closed down, I think, during the pandemic, I believe, or even like right, kind of like in the middle of it at some point, like 2021, 2022, even 2023 at the latest. But unfortunately, nothing very too much for like specifically like collectors. Yeah. Gabe says, I went back to school today. Oh, okay. So you're part of, I guess, the country that goes back there. I think that's like soon for like my area too, but I don't go to school, so at least for me, I don't have to bother with it. At least for now, I guess. I could ever, you know, go back again. But I'm like, I'm good right now. I got too much on my plate at the moment as an adult man. But yeah, so still went around. But I will say, so one little update. Um, Before I went out of town, saw the Odyssey again. Loved it even more the second time. It's so cool. Gabe says, I'm not sure what I want to do. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of in the same boat. I don't really know, even now, I don't really know what I want to truly do, I guess, as a career, but I think you got time, Gabe. You got time. There's always time. And if you get into something and you like it at first and you don't, guess what? You can just always go back. I want to be a vet, but I also want to make movies and books. That's cool. I mean, because you've been talking about like that book thing and like writing, so you could be you could get into like more of like an English kind of, I guess, studies or making books or stories and doing stuff like that, because that's cool. But yeah, what am I thinking? But yeah, but checked out the Odyssey. And speaking of books, I gotta read that, and especially the Iliad, which takes before the Odyssey. So it's like I gotta see what goes on. That whole story, like in the book, because I know it's kind of different. Yeah, there's parts and pieces there that are very different, but I love the Odyssey the second time around. Nearly a perfect film. It's just Christopher Nolan is so good. Well, I definitely recommend it then. Get the Odyssey, get the Iliad, which is like before the Odyssey, like right before it, I think. I think it's like a whole thing that kind of leads up to it. So, but yeah, but Odyssey was great. Definitely want to, I don't know. I'll kind of see what I'll be getting into. I know, okay. Of course, we got Spider-Man finally out. But of course that came out when I was out of town, so I haven't seen it yet. So I've been trying to avoid as many spoilers as I can online. I'm still kind of active on social media. I'm always looking at stuff. I'm always seeing stuff daily, but I'm just like, stay away. Explore Cage, stop. So I'm like, I'm excited for that. So hopefully by next week I'll have seen it by the next stream. I'm ready. I might see it in theaters. I mean, I recommend it. I recommend seeing any movie you want in theaters if it's out at the right time. And sorry for my hair. It's all frantic. Coming straight back from vacation. I mean, I had like a data buffer. I took an extra day because I'm like, I need to get my whole thing because I get up early and I'm like, I'm not getting home at like midnight and getting up at like 3 in the morning again. Hell no, I'm not doing that. So had a day so I could kind of chill out and prepare. Well, goddamn, just coming back. It's all chaos as usual from work. So it's all right, getting there, getting back into the process. But we're getting a good flow. Fortunately, working tomorrow, and I knew that was coming. I was like, all right, getting a little bit of extra moolah to kind of justify being gone. So I'm like, okay, extra day, but kind of see how it goes from here. How much we'll be able to get going, get done. So, but definitely planning to see Spider-Man sooner than later. I'll definitely plan to see it in theaters. I just need to rewatch the Spider-Man movies. Okay, so I was debating I might do a binge watch of all the Spider-Man movies, as in kind of like all the live action ones. So that's like Tobey Maguire's, his 3. Yeah, rewatch those. And then do the 2 Andrew Garfields, and then of course the Tom Holland ones. I have rewatched Spider-Man Homecoming recently. My folks just put it on. Yeah, I think my dad was like watching something on Disney Plus, and then that popped up, and he was like, all right, we'll just put that on. I was like, all right, cool. It's Spider-Man. I don't mind. And and that was still a fun movie. So I don't mind that movie at all. The kid says, you should give me a ticket. Brother, unless like you're coming with me, I ain't getting you no ticket. I'm not going to record. No, Spider-Man, that's for me, brother. So we'll kind of see. We'll see. Oh, there's a hole in my shirt. Sorry. This is a pajama shirt. Yeah, this shirt is not supposed to be worn really on camera or outside, but mainly because it's got the big old tear. But that's why I don't care. I'm like, oh, Deadpool shirt. It's a red shirt, goes with a hat. You should record the movie and send me the video. I'm not gonna do that. I need to enjoy it myself, bro. But thankfully, actually, like here, like I'm lucky enough that our theater does have a Taco Tuesday, and I've talked about that before. Where tickets are $6, so that's very, very nice. They do that, so it's not too bad. But still, brother, if you ain't coming with the theater with me, I'm not getting you tickets. I gotta save money. Yeah, what if I came with you? I mean, you're probably on the other side of the... Like, you're in a whole other state, bro. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're not in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. Not to dox myself specifically, but... I don't know if you're from this area, Gabe. And I don't know if it would be weird or not. Because I forget how old you are. What's a Kalamazoo? Kalamazoo, it starts with a K. It's a city in Michigan. Kalamazoo, it's a one-word thing. It's kind of like... I don't know if that's the capital of Michigan. I don't think it is. I think that's more so like Detroit. I mean, if you know Detroit. Never heard of it? Never heard of Kalamazoo? Well, you got like Detroit. I know you've heard of Detroit. It's like north of Detroit. Little like probably like a couple hours away, a few hours. We're not far, but we got a good city. I live in Spain. Oh well, definitely not coming to the theater with me, brother. Well, JK, you good? Yeah, you all good. But like Spain. You want me to get a ticket? Yeah. I think we talked about this before. I forget what you said. And you don't have to say if you don't want to. If you don't want to say what state or town you're from, you don't have to. I don't want to dox you. Yeah. America. You're poor. Don't do it. Like, what do you mean? I'm trying not to be. But I want to enjoy my life. Also, just to point out, Donnie did fall. I mean, he's right here. He fell off the wall, unfortunately, but he'll be back up next week. Because, of course, that's what happens. Also, Karai fell during my trip, too. So she was already, like, laying on the bed, just waiting. Like, alright, I fell. I was the first one. I'm like, I knew there would be one. I knew. But Donnie was, like, hanging on by a thread. Yeah, I knew he'd be falling off within, like, a day or two. But I was like, already? I'm like, you can't wait till, like, the weekend to fall. You just gotta fall during the day that I'm doing a live stream. And, of course, I don't have time to put him back up there. And, you know, even if I would just have a hook there. Because, you know, I want to have it actually stick up there and stay up there for a long time. Or for as long as they can take it. I mean, of what's fallen, I think I think, yeah, he fell. I think a couple of these guys have fallen before. I don't think Usagi. I think this has fallen before, and that was like scary. I think the one time it happened, but none of these guys have fallen yet. So, and probably not those ones, and none of the turtles. I'm kind of surprised that none of these have fallen yet. But yeah. But Gabe says, I'm starting to like Weezer, Pantera, and Korn. I mean, that's a good lineup right there. Limp Bizkit and Limp Bizkit. They're alright. Limp Bizkit's not my thing, but it's like, if you get into it and you like it, I won't judge. Music's for everyone. You got all your things going on. You got all your choices out there. I like them a little. Yeah. I think they're more of acquired taste. And depending on your specific genre and kind of like eras, depending on age in some cases, but they're fine. What am I thinking? So yeah, so Solo Odyssey, gonna see Spider-Man. Still not in my top 3 though. I mean, that would make sense. It's Limp Bizkit. It will be, if I'll be frank, if I'll be biased for a second. I'm like, it's Limp Bizkit. Unless you're like a mega diehard fan, I don't think they're really on anyone's top 3. But yeah, so saw the Odyssey for a second time. Gotta see Spider-Man. And then Hometown, still great, still cool. Nice traveling around. Also, stopped in. Yeah, I'll say this. So we also stopped in West Virginia for a night, so that was nice. It's a nice little town we were in, and seeing all the mountains and everything was still pretty cool. Big Gabe says, I don't think there's a band better than Tears for Fears and the Police. Oh, the Police are great. Is that the, oh yeah, that's, with Sting and the other 2 guys. I mean, for me, like, I really like, yeah, because I like the Police. They're great. And then Tears for Fears, I still need to get into them. I remember talking about that. I just haven't had time. I mean, even though I've been on the road for, like, 2 days, for, like, 2 or 3 whole days, for hours on end, I don't really listen to too much music, at least of right now. I'm very much, like, in my podcast and video and show and movie kind of phase right now. I haven't really jumped back into listening to music. Call Me Mellow by Tears for Fears is so underrated and good. Wow, I'll definitely have to check it out, Gabe. Call Me Mellow. That's cool. But yeah, what else? I'm trying to remember what else. But yeah, I guess we'll just get into our pickups, our weekly pickups that we picked up at my hometown, specifically at the local Target there, because they were like really the only place that had anything really interesting and good. So first thing we'll be looking at, picked up the NECA Mirage Comics Foot Ninjas. Finally saw these guys in person. I've been waiting to get these for a good while, like ever since like they announced these guys. I put them out, and of course, I think when they initially came out, I think that they were just like instantly sold out. But I think but I think that they've been on the Target website like for a while. But I've just been like, I'll kind of wait. I'm not. Yeah, y'all know me. I'm not really kind of like two, I guess, kind of like broken up about like not getting stuff online. I really prefer to get stuff in person if I'm able. If it's something I know for sure is going to be in a physical store at some point, maybe, even if it takes years or months or whatever, or weeks. So yeah, so finally got these two. So kind of actually completing my Mirage kind of Foot Clan as of right now, because I only plan to get two of these anyways. Then have the, what is it, the Enforcer there in the regular colors. Of course, I got the other color variant of that, but I do also have the color variant of these guys. We'll show that off at some other point. And then also the Elite Guard. So, and then having Karaya Shredder, and then also the all red Shredder, but he's still battle damage. I need a regular Shredder. Please, NECA. Oh, wait, no. NECA's. They're losing the freaking license anyway, so I can't even. I'll just have to track them down. Why is there two of them? Because why not? They're an army builder. Got two of them. You can get different head sculpts and do different things. Like, comes with a whole thing. So where he's in like this kind of uniform, has the headband, no headband, different weapons. It's an army builder. Build your foot ninja army. Gotta get them. Unless you're talking about like the different color variants of the multiple. Money. It's all about money. So they'll make them. I'll buy them. Well, they're not making them anymore because NECA's losing the license at the end of this year, which sucks. It's like, what are you doing, Paramount? Do you not like money? I get it, like Mattel's like banging right now, but I'm like, you're cutting out Playmates, even like NECA. I'm just like, okay. I'm like, yeah, it sucks because they're NECA. They're probably the best ones. Like they've had the license like for years, like collector friendly, like just the best when it comes to these turtle figures and all their lines there. But I'm like, but like Playmates, even I'm like, what are y'all doing? They're literally doing anniversary shit for you now. You can make hella money off of this vintage shit, but y'all don't want to make money for some reason because you're weird. All these corporate millionaires just need to like fuck off and let us have fun. Let my other companies make toys. I'll give those millionaires money because they make fun shit that make my life feel better and more complete and my collection feel complete. So I'm just like, yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Paramount. Fuck you, Nickelodeon. Whatever the fuck y'all are doing. Nickelodeon's I'm kind of okay with, but Paramount more like fuck. If I were to recommend albums from Tears of for Fears, I would recommend songs from The Big Chair and The Hurt. Okay, cool. At least they aren't greedy. I mean, I think it's just more greed. I think that they're just like, no, we just want to have one company instead of, making more money. I don't think it's out of like not being greedy. I think it's just out of laziness and just not wanting to put the work in and wanting to be like, oh yeah, we'll just cut, these people. We won't give them really a heads up, because like how they did with NECA, because they basically announced it, during Comic-Con, and they're, and seeing like the interviews and the videos with the guys there, they all seem kind of bummed out, especially the main guy. I can't remember what his name is, like Trevor? Hold on. I know that guy's name is on here because it's down there. Randy and Trevor. And like all the people who make all this shit. I'm just like, I know they love turtles. I know they love doing this shit. It's been their thing for like years. For like, what, since like 2008 or something? Or even like before? It's almost been 20 years since they've been doing turtle toys. So I'm just like, guys, what's going on? Why do millionaires not want us to have fun? They don't want poor people to have cool shit. But Gabe says, I wish NECA had the Godzilla license still. I get that. I think kind of like towards the tail end, like they were getting like really good, like they were starting because they had their Heisei and their Godzilla against Mechagodzilla figure, which I have those two, and they look great and wonderful. But I'm also kind of like, we still got Haya. I know they're a little bit more expensive, and that's the whole thing, but compared to figure arts, I'm just like, I'm happy. I mean, even though it's like, I'm not really big on Playmates either. I mean, I'll pick and choose, but it feels like they haven't really been doing too much that really interests me. It just feels very basic. And then they have like Bandai, I think, just doing regular stuff anyways. It would be cool to see their evolved Godzilla. It would be pretty cool. I think that they would do a few like pretty good variants and different kind of monsters and characters, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see what they could have done more of. But I think they kind of like they had their time, and the King Ghidorah, yeah, they're going to make. Oh, they're going to make a King Ghidorah, like a King Ghidorah. I assume it was going to be a Heisei. But you know, we do got that Haya there. He's in the corner. I'm looking right at him right now. Well, he's in the box though, because I got to do a video of that. But he looks great. I can't wait to open up this Haya figure, and that'll be a video for sure. I'm probably not going to do an unboxing stream for that. Probably next time I go on break or vacation, I guess, or have like a day off. So gotta get recording, gotta get doing it. They were going to make a monster versus one. Oh, okay. So like have like a either like a Godzilla like versus King Ghidorah or something like that. I assume maybe like a big 2-pack, but that's huge though. I don't know. Yeah, but they lost the license. Yeah, business. I think it made more sense when it came to like with NECA losing that license, the 2019 one. Ah, King of the Monsters. That would have, yeah, that wouldn't have been bad. I think they would have done a good one. I mean, they had pretty good ones at the time. I mean, I still have the what is it? The first legendary Godzilla one. 2014 was that? Was that? Is that how long it was? The 2014, like I guess Godzilla. It's not 2016. I know that. Not 2018, right? 2019, yeah, because that was King of the Monsters. But 2014 was the first one, and I got that one, and that one's still on display. I mean, that's one of my favorites. It works so well. I do got to get the Haya probably at some point, but I'm okay for now. I'm content with having that 2019 Godzilla. I even got the I'm looking back there. Oh yeah, I even got the Godzilla versus Kong NECA. Like a bunch of those. Yeah, the 1962 version. I wish I had the Haya and NECA Godzilla 2014. The NECA ones are actually pretty decent. If you can get like of any one of those and you don't yes, and they're not breaking the bank, if you're able, get the 2014 one. I think it still holds up pretty decently. I think it's perfectly a great representation of the 2014 one. The high one, I'm like, you know, I'm on the fence about, but I'm like, I got the NECA one, so I'm okay for now. And he's not like seen, yeah, very much. He's kind of in the back of the main display, but he's there. But NECA was doing a good job for a while. It would have been neat to see what more they could have done. Really, I'm just hoping that more companies do more variety of monsters. I'm like, we just keep getting Godzilla after Godzilla. We keep getting Mecha Godzilla and King Ghidorah and maybe a Gigan if we're lucky. But I'm like, give me my other monsters, y'all. Give me my Mothras, give me my Rodans, give me my Anguirus. I still need to get the monster arts, but I doubt I'm even going to be able to get that, because that thing's like so hard to find for a decent price. You're just going to be poor if you're buying that. And I'm like, I'm not dropping that money on that. But anyways, let me get into the rest of our pickups. So we'll be talking so much toy stuff all day. Okay, but second thing that was also there at Target, and I was like, should I get this? And then the folks with me, they were like, these are fun. You should get these. And I'm like, fuck it. Got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also NECA. What is it? The Ben Cooper, like the Halloween costumes. I just got Leonardo and Shredder there. They had Ben there. They look great. They look cool. They're really fun. I like the art, specifically on the boxes, because they are kind of more based on the actual like the toys, which is fun, especially when it comes to Shredder. I mean, that's like full on like Playmates look there. And then even with Leonardo with the little belt buckle. So I love it. They look great. Definitely need to get the rest of this. At Walmart there, they did have the Raphael and Michelangelo, but I didn't want to travel with too many toys. So I was like, I'll just stick with Leo and Shredder. I'll get the other ones at a later date. Of course, gotta get Raph and Mikey and Donnie. But there's also a Bebop and Rocksteady, and those look okay. They're not my favorites. To be honest, they don't look the greatest, even compared to Shredder, but the Turtles, I'm just like, fuck it. I guess I'll get all these. I'll get another set of Turtles. Like, I don't have, what, like 15 different versions already. It's probably not that many, but it's probably pretty close. I mean, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2 full sets. 3 up there. 4 for the Playmates. 5 for the movie Turtles. And then even 6 for the movie 2 Turtles. And then 7 for the movie 3 Turtles. And then have all of the cartoon collection ones. So that's 8. And then I'm even going to count the Godzilla X TMNT crossover from Playmates. Because I'm definitely going to get the Donatello, if anything. But I have the main 3 that they have put out so far. So I'm counting that anyway. So that's like 10 sets of Turtles. And this will be 11. Give me all the Turtles. Gimme. Too bad we won't be able to do it. But we'll see what Mattel does, I guess, with the license. I'm kind of excited for it because they've done some cool stuff. But, you know. Oh, yeah, there's also the G.I. Joe crossover ones. I mean, I'm at least going to get Leo and I think Shredder. Because that's Leonardo as Snake Eyes and Shredder as, of course, Cobra Commander. But definitely want to get Slash, where he's Storm Shadow. That one looks immaculate. I'm just like, give me that figure. It looks so good. It kind of gives me you know, old Playmates vibes. Even like a little bit Trendmasters. Like when it comes to the Godzilla stuff, I'm like, this is great. This is a whole gold mine. It still makes me more upset. I'm just like, if anyone like Playmates, I'm like, why do y'all want to cut your ties with this company? Is it because they're made in Hong Kong? Is that it? Is it just purely because America and China and Hong Kong? Is it that whole damn thing? I'm just like, fuck you, I don't care. They've been making fun toys for years. Especially when it comes to Turtles. The other stuff's like, okay, but I'm like, Turtles is the main thing for them. That's what made their company a thing. God damn it. Finish my vintage collection. I need to get all of those figures. They need to re-release all of those, including like Scratch and Ace Duck. Gimme them. Gimme Muckman. Please. I need to get my Usagi at some point. Definitely need to pick that up before they're all gone. I'll probably just have to get that whole wave anyways. Because it's just like, it's insane. It's insane what they're doing, and I hate it. And I'm like, what are you doing, brother? Are y'all allergic to making more money? Make money. That's your whole thing. And you're just like, these guys are doing too well. We're just going to cut ties. What do you mean? Okay. The last thing, and I actually initially passed on this. So when I first went to Target, so at first I got the 4 turtle figures. I was like, okay, I'm good for now. And then I was like looking online at like the other figures I saw there, and I was like, damn it. I might have to get this figure. And I did. And they also had the other sets there, but we'll talk about in a second. But picked up the Marvel Rivals Punisher from Marvel Legends. Just because the main thing is because I've been seeing a lot of people use this as crossbones for the time being, and I'm like, that kind of works for me. I like my big bulky bad guys. I like my crossbones. And then Punisher in general, like, he looks pretty cool. Like, maybe I could use a head or two on another figure. I'm not sure, but yeah, he beefy. I mean, if you look at the art, look at him from the game. Look how tiny that head is. His shoulder is literally like 2 of his heads combined. And then they also had the Venom and Jeff the Shark set. But that said, I'm like, I'm good. I do like the Venom, but the Jeff I just know it's just not worth it. I gotta get the Blockies version. Oh, the Moon Knight I think has been at my recent one. Yeah, Cape says, I wish I had that build. Brother, you wouldn't be able to move your arms more than that. You would not be able to live comfortably. I don't think so. Especially your shoulders. I mean, those traps, you'd be sore like all the time. But it's crazy, though. It's a good design. But definitely going to probably be a Crossbones, at least for me. I don't know if I'll get rid of the logo. I probably will, but I'm not really sure what to do with that. If I do, so we'll just see. We'll see what goes down. But mainly other thing, it's like I do probably want to get the Spider-Man and a Luna Star, I think is her name. 2-pack, especially if they got it. I think I saw someone like post that they like put it out and it's like only like $40 or something compared to the regular like the compared to the like the price that they have been putting up, which is like 56 or like 60. So maybe that that'd be the only reason for me to get it, because I don't really care for the Spider-Man, to be honest, despite being a Spider-Man dude. I'm like, I want Luna Star. She's a cool character and has a unique look and power, and and I like her character. And the thing, Gabe says, 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 squats, and a walk 1,000 miles. 100 miles? Only 100 miles? You gotta do 1,000 by that point. You gotta get your thousands. Yeah, but Luna Snow should be in the MCU. I agree. I think that she's a pretty cool looking character. Is she like another like original for Rivals? Because I know they have like a couple ones. Unless Luna Snow was in some other stuff. Because she's kind of familiar, but I'm like, I don't know anything about her, so. But she's cool looking. And the Spider-Man's okay. I'm like, they could have done more, but yeah. She has comics, okay. That's what I assume, because I'm like, I feel like I've heard the name, Luna Snow before, but just haven't looked, haven't been bothered. Yes, but it's like, I like the design, I like the powers that I've been seeing of the clips of the game, so I'm like, okay, I'll get it. Nightcrawler would also be cool in the MCU. I mean, he's gonna be. He's in Doomsday. I know it's the original actor from the X-Men films, but I'm ready for him, too. I'm like, let's see this look. Let's see him full. And I think he's going to be, like, kind of in the classic costume from what they've shown or talked about before, but we'll see. But I'm excited for... I'm kind of excited for Doomsday, to be honest. More so, I'm just ready to get my Fantastic Four figures, because I like the thing there. I like having his whole suit. I like the Mr. Fantastic that comes with Herbie. I'm like, that's my main thing. I also like him with the jacket. But the 2-pack, that Sue Storm and Johnny, I'm like, I'm not too big on those. I don't... Yeah, the full Invisible Woman, like, that's alright. Like, that's fine, but it's like, it doesn't really do anything for me. And then Johnny, like, half flamed on, like, his legs are on fire, but his upper torso is like fine. I'm like, that's a cool effect. It just doesn't connect to me. So we'll see. And all those other figures are pretty decent. Doctor Doom's fine. I guess he's based more off of concept art, but I'm like, it don't really bother me too much. I might get it. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. And then Gambit for sure, and then probably Shang-Chi. Got to get an update on him, especially since he has the rings and everything. So we'll see. And then who else is in that wave? Oh yeah, Magneto. That's kind of cool. So I'll probably pick up that one. I wish they did a Professor X. I'm like, do one more Professor X. Do one more. What the heck, Gabe? You're like, rip. And then Gabe's like, money. Thumbs up. All right. We're about 40 minutes in. I guess I better get into what we're looking at today. I don't know. I'm just reacting to what you're posting. The eyes. All right. think we will finally switch on over. What kind of emoji is that? What are these YouTube emojis? They're weird. Alright, brother, you want to be careful. You don't want to start spamming. I don't want to get you kicked off, because sometimes it'll do that if you keep spamming. What are these emojis? They're weird. Hello. Little wave sunglasses. But yeah, we're going to switch on over. Finally talk about our Star Wars figures. We haven't even said one peep about Star Wars, but this is one of my favorite movies of all time of Star Wars. Revenge of the Sith. Kind of my Star Wars movie. Me spamming? Probably. I'd be... Yeah, I think like YouTube has like an automated system sometimes when it comes to do that. I would never. You haven't done it in a bit, to be honest. But we're going to switch on over, talk these toys, talk about these Star Wars figures, and talk about Anakin and Obi-Wan. That's good. There we are. Oh, I forget really how much it's kind of shown off. I got to get a lawyer. I mean, it's not illegal for you to not spam. It's just that they have an automated system where they're like, spam? No, you can't do that. Maybe. But there's our Anakin and Obi-Wan. And as y'all can see, I finally actually did clean that shelf, so it looks all nice over there. Matt or Mac? What? Matt Murdock? You're talking about Daredevil? Oh, also, okay, one last thing before we even get to these figures. I did redo the whole Spider-Man shelf during my time away, so fit more characters, got like some other symbiotes back there, and have more villains in general in the back there, so they're like on the precipice, especially like, you know, Amazing Fantasy, yeah, number 15. Spider-Pig, there's two right there. I got the comic and the movie, and even Lego Spider-Man. Oh, sorry, camera, but what? Oh, there he is. There they are. All their plastic glory. All the Spider-Mans and then some villains. They're pretty cool. It was nice. I'm definitely ready to take him to the movies, though. He's coming with me when I'm seeing Spider-Man, so we shall be prepared. But yes, here's our Star Wars Black Series Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Been waiting to finally get these two open. Been waiting to get my hands on these two. For a while, I did see Obi-Wan for a bit at my local GameStop where I got them at. I got them off because I got their subscription thing. But then I was really waiting to find Anakin because I knew he'd be the hardest one to find and didn't ever see him really in person. But then one day he just popped up at my local Target like a month or two ago. So it was like, it's time. Get this Anakin. Get Obi-Wan. Call it good. One does have some scratches on his thing, but I don't really care about the box too much. But I'm ready to get these guys open. Been waiting to get these. I really wanted to get the Comic-Con set from last year, but that set I was not able to get, and I think they had like another run of it, but I think at the time I was just like, I can't spend the money. I can't remember if I missed a run or I just completely missed it. Spaceballs, Star Wars, Spaceballs is later. I mean, they're having their own movie too, their second movie. I love that movie though. Spaceballs is so good. But nice finally to get some Episode 3 Anakin and Obi-Wan action, even though I didn't get the Mustafar set. I really wish I was able to get that because I love those alternate heads and hands that they included. Also, like the whole the set pieces are just so cool because I love the Vader and Luke set. From Empire Strikes Back. So it's like, yeah, I love it. I need it. Need to get all this shit. But yeah, we'll get into these guys. Who do we want to do first? First inkling is to do Obi-Wan, because Anakin's my boy, though. So save the best for last. And he's kind of like the newest kind of thing. So I'm thinking we do Obi-Wan, get over, and then move over to Anakin, get over him, and then start having some fun with these guys. Because I do got some ideas on, hopefully like the swap parts, specifically with hands, because I don't mind the actual, like, the look of these guys too much when it comes to their portraits and everything, how they're looking here, even though I would prefer interchangeable heads like how we got in the box set. Would be nice, knowing that those are just sitting there, probably in some mold, had a, they have digital things and renders of these guys that actually exist. I need to get up on there. Is that on my, no, that's on my screen. Got some dust. There we go. But yeah, I think we'll get into Obi-Wan first. Leave Anakin for now, because he is number 4 of Revenge of the Sith, the 4th figure in there. Has this kind of like this brownish, orangey color, but you got number 4, Obi-Wan Kenobi, got the figure. Star Wars, the Black Series, the logo, nothing at the top. Aside, nothing there, but we got the window, got all the darkness, have another color coming around. Star Wars Black Series there, 4+, warning, Hasbro, and then the image on the side, looking freaking badass. Is that, what's that place? Is that like the one, or is that Mustafar? That's Mustafar right back there, but there's Obi-Wan, all his glory. Obi-Wan Kenobi at the bottom, the price tag, at the barcode, it's covered up, at the back. Got Star Wars Black Series, got that same image from the side, blown up. So, can we even do that? We can't even do that. That kind of sucks. But, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan is forced to battle his friend Anakin Skywalker in a devastating lightsaber duel after Anakin turns to the dark side. And then that's in multiple languages we see there. Number 4, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Which is actually episode 3, technically, funny enough. Yeah, I don't even know who the other ones are. I guess it would... My guess... Well... It wouldn't be Dooku, because they haven't done him in this form yet. They did him in the Vintage series. But attention, warning, things. Why is this blowing up my camera? But yeah, but I can't remember who else they did from this movie. Because, of course, there's 3 other ones. If they're... Yeah, this is 4 and 5. I just can't think of it right now. Maybe some of the droids. That would make sense. Maybe a clone? I'm trying to see whose arm is this. It looks like some sort of armor, so that would make sense. Some sort of clone from episode 3. I guess one of the many. We also did get some other ones, but they're more so episode 2, they call them, even though there's some other vintage ones. But whatever. We'll get into Obi-Wan. Get him going. Let me do my thing. Bring up the camera. Bring it back down, because Obi-Wan's got to get opened. $29.99. I did not pay that price exactly. I think I got like $5 off as usual for my thing, but with having to open figures, of course that means it is the return of the X-Acto blade. Safety off. My weapon of mass destruction. Destroy. And that's it. Thankfully with Hasbro figures, it's pretty easily. Is this a little... Okay, that's just like a ding on there. That's fine. I thought that was a little... Excuse me. Is there another... No, there's no other piece of tape. It's just weird. It's just not coming out. There we go. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? But there you got... Hoop. Hasbro paper. First one in a long time. Back from vacation, so we'll open up that. What do we see? Oh, it's all the same thing. Another warning in different things. And being like, copyright Hasbro. Who gives a shit? You have like 3 different warnings. Warning, 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 attention, warning. Why have another one? Why waste Earth. But I assume, oh, he has the same background. Yeah, I see from Anakin. But there's his empty box. Probably gonna keep the side and also the back here, just because I like the images. Probably not gonna keep this though. But you got the Mustafar background that we saw on the side of the images. All of its things going on here. Looking neat, looking cool. Of course, later on, Vader's whole place there. But there's our Obi-Wan. All his plastic glory. All his things. But we'll get him out. First, of course, gonna get the lightsaber out of here. Make sure that's gonna stay. I do kind of want to be a little bit more careful when it comes to the lightsabers, because I don't want to break or warp them too much. Of course, the tape doesn't even come off correctly. It's trying to take the blade with it anyways. There we go. We'll get into that real quick. So there's his Obi-Wan Kenobi blade. A little... I can't remember if the hilt was actually like fully black at the time. I feel like it was silver. But you also got the gold there, but have some black, and then have some silver there. Black with more riveting, and then your little trigger thing. So your typical Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, but a nice, of course, a nice blue blade to it. Very nice. Kind of a darker blue, but it's pretty well. Mine actually, yeah, also has a little chip on it. Some excess plastic, but there we go. It just comes right off, so not bad. But of course, with these, actually pretty easy to take out the blades now. Before they used to, I think, have like a more different kind of like way of doing it, but now it feels a lot more secure. So thankfully, I'm not too worried about breaking these now anymore. And they do rotate a bit, even though I think that'll really take it out of the thing. But so if yours is a little bit warped or something, you can angle it away so it'll look straight. But it looks pretty decent. Maybe could use some more detail. Feel like that there's something missing. It just feels weird. Hold on. Let me look at the box. We even see what the head of the thing is. It looks silver there. It looks very much like silver. So that doesn't feel accurate. I'm not sure. I'll have to do more research. But based on the figures I'm seeing, it don't look accurate, but it might be. I don't know. I can't remember. Obi-Wan. Excuse me. Can you please? Thank you. Plastic. To the ether. But there's our Obi-Wan. Oh, damn. This looks so good. It was a little stiff out of the packaging. It was a little crunched up there, but God, let me get this situated. Oh. 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 Get him. Come a little closer. A little bit closer, can we get? There we go. Hello there. Hello there. Is that as close as I can get? Probably. But there he is. Obi-Wan freaking Kenobi. Looking great. Looking a little angry. Not too happy right now. I guess him and Anakin are at it. But he's a little more cleaned up. Or this is kind of like on Mustafar where he's like, you've done that yourself. But then it would be nice if they would come with the capes and everything. But I guess not. This is them during the battle. So he's kind of upset. Or the start of the battle. But honestly, it looks pretty good. I think it looks a fair bit like Ewan McGregor. I definitely see the likeness there. I definitely like how they've done the hair sculpt here and have the beard is a little bit more red, especially on the front, but I have a bit of a fade there. But I think he looks pretty good, especially at the mouth. I think it's kind of like that's always like the hardest thing, like getting like the beard and everything. But it's not dirty or anything. It looks pretty clean, so very nice. And then has the kind of the more basic Jedi tunic, but has the brown on the inside, white, kind of tannish color on the outside. Yeah, it's just like a light tan. On the outside has the whole sleeves, very baggy, very cool. Has the belt, little buckle there. Has the vials of stuff or whatever. Has a pouch on the back there. Has another pouch. Has another pouch. And then has an even smaller pouch, and then a hole to plug in the lightsaber at. So very, very nice. And then, of course, with the tunic has the little flaps here. So got one big one of two that are connected. Have two in the middle side, and then one on the back. Show off the pants there, all brown. Pants there, very basic for Black Series, but has some bagginess. Has the line that goes down the pants there, but it has a signature red kind of boots here. Love these red boots. It's such a good look for Obi-Wan. It's nice to see him kind of strutting around, like killing it, but has like a little patch on there at the top, but yeah. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. But we'll go over his articulation real quick. Does have a ball. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's a dumbbell joint, so with a ball, a rod, and another dumbbell at the top of the neck there, and then at the neck has a ball as well there, so everything can look up about that far, look down, not that far, not too bad at all, can tilt, do a lot of tilt, a lot of Obi-Wan sass, as he always does, a bit of a sassy diva. I don't know, that's internet stuff. But then it has shoulder hinge here, a little stiff, but does have a butterfly joint, so can go forward about that far, can come back about that far. I don't know if it also goes up or down, but doesn't feel like it, but rotates out. The shoulder does feel a little bit scary to work with. I don't want to break the rod in there, but yeah. Does he have the high ground? I mean, at least for right now, he definitely doesn't, but maybe at some point. I think Hayden Christensen is a bit taller than Obi-Wan. Yeah, than Ewan McGregor, I should say. But, you know, all that jazz. We'll kind of see from there, but we'll see in time. But with the arm, we do have a single jointed elbow. Pretty typical for Black Series, but gets about that far up there. Not too bad if we have it fully straight. So past 90 does have rotation there. I do kind of prefer to kind of have it out just a little bit because I don't want to mar my plastic. So goes right there. And then at the hands, so now they're doing the whole ball joint thing. So where it's like another, like a dumbbell joint, essentially, essentially in the wrist. And then you just have the hand at the end. So you can go up and down, side to side, and rotate. And they are interchangeable as well, compatible, and of course then in the set they gave them both interchangeable kind of splayed out force using hands, because you have the one scene where they're both using the force at the same time and doing it one-on-one. That should just come with these regular figures anyways. It's just the whole set thing. That's the whole point. But whatever. But then you got the ball at the torso, hinge back, go back about that far. It's a little stiff, but go forward that far. Like, it does get kind of stuck there, but you can kind of get it going. But tilt side to side and full 360. He is a Jedi after all, I guess. Very acrobatic, but as we saw under the legs, there is no thigh cut here, but you just have your regular leg hinge there with your ball and your rods and all that. So goes forward about that far, goes back pretty far, goes out, of course has the split in the tunic, Can nearly do the splits. Get them all splayed out however we can. There he is. Easy peasy. He's an athletic man. Athletic. Yeah, I said athletic instead of athletic. But it does have a little bit of a inner thigh swivel there, so that kind of makes sense for what they're doing. Doesn't have a drop down. I kind of wish it did. I think it would help maybe a little bit. But then you have a single jointed knee there. It does have rotation there as well. And also rotation at the boot, which is actually kind of nice. I was not expecting that, but that's actually kind of cool there. The full 360 there. And then, of course, at the shoe, hinge back, hinge forward, ankle, rocker, pivot. The best thing that Hasbro probably ever does engineering-wise. It's just the ankle rockers. That's like the most consistent thing that they can say that they probably do good every time. But this figure looks pretty great, though. I do like this figure. I think it feels pretty well. Of course, we gotta give Obi-Wan his lightsaber, though. What am I doing? And the hands are pretty pliable and easy to move around. The lightsaber with, if I can get it in his hand and not be stupid. There he goes. Got him on the grip. There he is. Even, pretty sure, pretty easily. Can do a double-handed. Pose here. I mean, look at my dude. Look at my Obi-Wan. Mr. Kenobi. That's pretty great. Get him a full body shot. I'm gonna zoom out a bit. But he looks pretty good. I would say I feel like the arms are a little... I feel like that they're a little more sunken in than they should be. I feel like that they should stick out more. Kind of fill out the shoulder a bit. And the standing, of course, got these little bit of a tiny feet is a little difficult with this kind of table. I still got to get a new mat for this table. I just got to get the right one at the right size because this thing is so specific, but I got to see what I can do. Yeah, let me zoom out a bit. There we go. But there's our Obi-Wan. Does he have... Oh, yeah, he does have the high ground. Of course. Like I said before, Gabe, of course he does. He's Obi-frickin' Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan frickin' Kenobi. Fucking Kenobi. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi. Bash, 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 bash. But there he is. Looking pretty cool. I do kind of wish he also had like the pointer finger hand do that, because that's always a signature for him as well. But we shall see. And of course, do want to show off. Can't just take off the blade, and you can't just store the lightsaber there because it's got the peg and it's got the hole for the thing. Michael Gnatter, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoy. I appreciate all the support. But we're looking at some Star Wars Black Series. Michael, looking at the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan Kenobi. Appreciate it. Thank you, Michael. But yeah, but we're showing off that he can store his lightsaber there pretty easily. Just sits right there. Looks pretty good, but we'll have him with the blade. For now. Get him going. There we go. But there's our Obi-Wan Kenobi. I feel like his... Yeah, I might need to heat up this lightsaber. Because I feel like it's a little bit crooked. It's a little warped, so I might need to heat that up. But honestly, looks pretty good. Oh my god. Can you calm down, camera? It's just one man. It's just one figure. You need to chill that F out. But it looks great. That's cool. Definitely recommend if you want an Obi-Wan for your collection. I mean, this is a great start. It looks great. Looks wonderful. So yeah. Now we shall get into Anakin. Oh, excuse me. I need to probably zoom out a little bit more and also probably come up a bit more. There we go. Of course, for packaging, that's always the thing. But so same whole thing as we saw before with Obi-Wan. He's going to be over there for now. Star Wars Black Series logo, the figure. Got Anakin Skywalker. He's number 5, and Obi-Wan was number 4. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith in this weird orangey, kind of brownish color. On the side has darkness and a little bit of a window color. Star Wars Black Series. On the other side has Anakin there, so we can be side by side with Obi-Wan there. Of course, there's his thing, and the fade into Anakin Skywalker. What am I doing? I should get this. I should have done that when these figures were in their boxes, but look at them. Look at that. It's so good. It's just like the movie posters. It's just so badass. I love Revenge of the Sith. I can't help it. I know it's probably still not technically a great movie, but I grew up with that shit. I love that shit. I love it so much. Compared to episode 1 and especially episode 2, because episode 2 I kind of don't really care for, even though like it has like some cool and decent stuff. And I need to get more figures from that. I need to get Watto from episode 1. I don't think a single episode 1 figure. Wait, no, I have a few. I'm lying. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. All right. There's Anakin. Stuff at the bottom, of course, got him at Target, so nothing on there. Barcode, and on the back. Star Wars Black Series, Anakin Skywalker, now Darth Vader, turns to the dark side and battles Obi-Wan Kenobi in a lightsaber duel on the lava planet Mustafar, as I've been yapping about. In different languages, the same image on the side, but bigger, kind of blown up, but it don't have the legs in there. Number 5 of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. And attention, danger, warnings, all that stuff. But at Disney, Hasbro, of Star Wars, we're going to open them up, get Annie. Annie open. Annie, you're definitely not okay. You're definitely going through some stuff. Boy, it'll just get better. Trust me. It's not like you fall into a giant river of lava or Left 4 Dead and then turn into a cyborg that makes your living even more miserable because your master hates you. Thing to the ether, fuck you, paper. There's our empty box with the same background to the ether. And got Anakin all up in here in all his plastic glory. Looking pretty sweet. His lightsaber looks accurate, as usual. It's almost like it's the same damn thing each time, compared to Obi-Wan's, where it's like it kind of changed a bit, but I think in the last one it was kind of there. Maybe, I don't know, unless it like aged out or something. But with Anakin, they taped down his. They taped down both the things. Did they do that for the Obi-Wan? I wasn't looking at it too much. I wasn't too concerned. In this, please. Get my tape off. Okay, get unstuck here. There we go, and then we'll get my lightsaber, which is actually not that hard too. There we are. Got Anakin's lightsaber, of course. The main, essentially, lightsaber that we really saw in Star Wars. If anyone just saw the first one, it is missing a bit of red paint there on my button, so that kind of sucks, but I can probably do something with that. Your little gold button there has your little designs here. Your very regular lightsaber has a little peg, and then of course has the actual laser sword part of it, but that of course can also come off pretty easily. It does have a little divot on there to show how it is supposed to go on, so that's nice. But I think mainly it still kind of can rotate around, but with this one I want to be more careful. I don't want to break this one. But it looks great. It's cool. It's also a very good blue that they have. It's kind of like a darker blue a bit, but still kind of light, and they work. So I'm happy with it. We'll get Anakin one foot after the other, doing the same thing as Obi-Wan. Stuck at the arms. Get Anakin. There we go. There's the plastic. Ether. Oh, god damn it. Already, just a feel, just the look alone, I'm just like, damn. Damn, they really cooked with this one, huh? I will say there's probably something to be had a little bit more. But honestly, I will say, let me get him going here. This is a pretty nice Anakin here. Maybe a little puffy, maybe a bit kind of like how like Tom Holland, like how people said he has like that frog in his mouth kind of thing. He kind of has that going on. He's very neutral. Not super much there, but has the scar on the eye, has the flowing out hair with the little at the bottom. Probably my favorite look for Anakin, especially. Love that. Episode 3. Look there, very much on par with what was going on there, like their peak. At their peak of being their characters. But, of course, with Anakin, has a bit of a darker side kind of going on there. It has the 2 kind of black sashes that go across his chest and then down to these 2 there. And then has darker brown. Has his underlayer kind of there. And then even like a lighter brown at the collar kind of undershirt there. So wearing a few layers more, I think, than Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's you only got 2, but Anakin's got that big old shoulder pad thing going up there, but has the regular kind of tunic. Well, that kind of matches up with the under one, so with that darker color, but it's actually a pretty good texture. I actually like that. Pretty much actually has like an actual texture to it. It's a little bit more bumpier and more rough on there, so that's cool. But it has, of course, his robot arm, his mechanical arm, because of course it got lobbed off by Dooku in Attack of the Clones. Has the glove detail there, but has the 3 clasps. And they look great there. And then, of course, with the one side, that's all human still, but they still have the same kind of thing going on there. And then at the buckle, a little bit of like a silverish. Yeah, it's like a silver buckle there. That's nice. So a different little color for Anakin to throw in there, I guess, to tie in with the thing. Maybe it is a little bit gold, but it's kind of shinier. Can't really tell too much. But then have a silver and gold little things there. Love that. Then got your another big old pouch right there. Has another pouch. The side has like a little thing there. I don't know what that is. Just a little design. A little patch, and then another big old pouch. And then has 4 little things there, little dials, and then of course has his own holding thing for his lightsaber. Very cool. Also, I didn't even mention that before with Obi-Wan, but you can see the inner tunic, like the underbody, and that's all right there actually. So that's actually pretty cool that you can get that. Of course, that kind of exposes what's going on with the articulation there, but he's like, oh, you caught me changing. But get my boy with the shoulder pads. They look great. Then, as we said before, have the little tunic pieces that are coming out, and then have the under ones there in the skirt. It has two on the back for the black ones, and then one big one there, but got the same kind of pants set up, I think, from the knee up. So I think it's the same exact one as Obi-Wan, which makes sense. Is it? No, they're different. Okay. That's actually nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, so they are a different sculpt, but a little bit still more bumpier, but has a more kind of a lighter brown, kind of matches with the upper one there, a little bit less darker compared to the other ones, but still a very nice brown there. I think it has a little bit of a wash on there, so that's kind of cool. And then has his boots, big old stomping boots. I think they do kind of integrate into Vader's look. I think they're more techy, but it has kind of like these high boots still. Has more kind of plated kind of thing going on, and they're a bit dirtier, have a little wash to them than your regular shoes and all that jazz. Love me my Anakin. He looks amazing, and I forget. I'm pretty sure he is a right-handed. I think that's like most of these guys. I'll put it in his right hand as well. Of course, oh wait, before we actually get into that, we will get into his articulation while I'm thinking about it. It has the same setup as Obi-Wan, a little stiffer on there, but you should be able to switch out the heads if you really want to. But has the same dumbbell joint, yeah, at the top of the head, and then has the ball at the bottom, but can only look up about that much. It's just because of the actual hair, but they should really be making this, because that's like super solid. You should be making that super gummy so we can get it more going there. But it looks down pretty well. Has, of course, the head tilts and rotation there. At the shoulders, actually, I think goes up a bit more than Obi-Wan, so that's actually kind of nice. Rotation there, and then also has a butterfly, so that goes that forward and that far back. As you can, of course, as we saw, has these massive butterfly cuts. Can we actually see those with Obi-Wan? No, his is a full, it's a full one piece. You're not getting through him. So actually nice kind of different engineering for what they were doing here. And then, of course, at the torso has the ball. So it can only go back about that far. Not as far as Obi-Wan. I'm kind of surprised, but it can crunch pretty well there. Bit of tilt. Some rotation there. Little hula hoop action. Then at the legs, have the same thing as Obi-Wan going on there. So just the kick forward, kick back, kick out because he got the cut there. Then does have a inner thigh rotation there. Rotation at the top of the knee. Also has a hinge there. Single hinge at the knee, and then show off that rotation again. And then, as we saw before with Obi-Wan, and now also with Anakin, do have a boot swivel. Very nice. You can't even see it, but there it is. It's very, very cool. Love it. Honestly, I vibe with this Anakin so much, I might just change the head and call it good. Because the head's like okay, but it's like it doesn't really do too much for me. It doesn't really have that much emotion to it. I'm like, I need to see my Anakin scowling. Need to have him be a very emo boy. We'll get him going. Kind of walks in there. So there he is. His lightsaber. Can you chill? I just don't like it. Okay. Bro. There we are. But very, very cool. Honestly, not too bad from that angle. it actually looks like perfect there. Like he looks just like Anakin. So that's actually kind of cool that they kind of got his likeness down. I don't think it's as good as Ewan's. Let's see right quick. But yeah, I think Ewan's is probably a little bit more easier. I feel like Hayden Christensen weirdly has like one of those faces where they're hard to get right in action figure form. How is it like Anakin and Luke both have that problem? Like Mark Hamill has like such a distinct face in each of those movies. Here, I'm trying to get them side by side. But yeah, but I definitely like that probably a little bit more. I think that looks fine there, but definitely prefer that. But we'll get them stood next to each other. Looking pretty good. And he is. Anakin's a bit taller. Anakin's a taller boy, so Obi still don't have the high ground as yet. But he will, but he got the experience, though. That's what won him the match. Well, the fight, but... Yeah, but they look great. They look awesome. Oh, I should have... I'm going to grab something else in a minute. I didn't even think about it. Hold up. Oh, look at those guys. Look at them in all their plastic glory. I'm going to move my camera down, I guess, a bit, because I want to get that. And we're looking at the same thing. Zoom out a touch. Be prepared. But there they are. I think they look... Oh, excuse me. I think they look pretty good together. I think Obi-Wan is like the most like cleanest all around. I do like his portrait a lot. I do like his head sculpt a whole ton. Definitely way better compared to the old one, because I actually did see the old original Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan at Goodwill like years ago, and I was like so tempted, and I was like, man, I should have picked that up because I don't have a Obi-Wan. But then I got the figures, and I was like, I don't need another Obi-Wan. And then Black Series has this, and I'm like, well, I gotta get it. I gotta try it out. But there they are, in all their plastic glory. I gotta keep messing with Anakin for a second because I need him looking as close as I can. So I'll do this, I guess. There we go. I think that's as close as I can probably get. As perfect as I want it. I think they look great. I'm going to move real quick, so I shall be muting up and be right back. Because we're going to get on with our little comparisons and also little fun stuff like switching accessories and hands and heads and stuff like that. So I shall be right back. There we go. Hopefully I'm muted. Alright, I'm back. So first things first, before we get into actual comparisons, we will do a little bit of kit bashing first, just to try here, just to see how things can possibly be messed with. But first I will get a little battle scene going on with these guys. Get them clashing lightsabers, because since I have the Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker 2-pack, I do have the little impact effect that I believe is the same one that came in the Comic-Con set with these two. So if I can get them to work, might be able to get them. They may not. They might not be big enough. Well, there we go. Maybe they're more, I guess, kind of more specific. Can this chill out? Hold on. I'm going to throw this in, because we got our figure art sets here. I'm going to balance out my camera a bit. Make it a little more busier. There we got Obi-Wan with the thing. I just gotta get him posed up. A little difficult. It's a little stiff with these arms here, because they are a little bit more limited. Obi-Wan, I think, is a little bit more. I do also, okay, I didn't even notice this, but yeah, but I do like that they have his little, like his little mole or kind of freckle that's up there. You can barely even see it, but it's right there. I love that little touch, though. But there he is. Then we gotta get Anakin. I do want to get them into like an actual, like a good fighting pose. Hold on. Obi-Wan, do your thing. Sorry, I'm gonna try to work on this for a second. I feel like I had it for a second, but then it's like it kind of loses me, because I want to get an angle like that. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this angle with this figure. Bruh. Okay, I think that's pretty decent. It's kind of more basic, but it just feels more right. I don't know, not very super action-y, but it's enough for me to be satisfied. Because then you can get a good angle like that. So let's get Anakin going. So let me figure out first where this should end up at. Other side might not be enough. Oh, okay, so it goes on like that. Oh, yeah. Let's see, I think he holds the left one up. Okay, so he might actually be more left-handed than I thought he would be. Actually, what I can do, I can put the blade in at first, and then I can mess with the figure next. Get them all lined up. Get them back connected. Yeah. Get the whole thing here. They're both clipped in fully. Get Anakin posed up probably a bit better. Get Obi-Wan posed up. I should get a little more Obi-Wan, a little bit less. Like, the Obi-Wan looks great, but Anakin's a little... I don't know. I kind of wish he had, like, more like a windswept hair. But there they are. I just hate that his hair, like, it kind of sticks out a bit, but I think that's kind of just how it always is. But this is definitely Obi-Wan's best look. I don't know about Anakin's. Maybe if I get him a little bit more. Like that, too, where it's a bit more closer to the thing going on there. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. I had it for a second, but then I'm like, I mean, that's pretty decent. Just get him like that. Maybe tilt it a bit. Oh no, it just doesn't look like Anakin as of right now, but there they are. So a pretty cool scene. Definitely got to work on it more, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Obi-Wan looks perfect. Anakin's a little basic. But it's cool that that actually does work. So if you have this, if you have the Empire Strikes Back, what is it? Cloud City, kind of like their big duel set of Luke and Darth Vader. You can use that setup with that, so that's very, very nice. But we're gonna remove the lightsabers for now. Maybe even, do we want to put on the hilts? No, I don't want to deal with those guys as of right now, because we'll compare lightsabers in a minute too. Because of course we got some alternate hands and some accessories, but first we're gonna do this pile of ones that are actually from the Indiana Jones line. So we'll get Anakin. There it goes. There goes the dominoes. And then we'll get Obi-Wan, Mr. Kenobi, Ben, if you will. He does become Ben, but that was a little later. Well, that was after this fight, but even still. He's still Ben. He can still be Ben if he wants. But there they are. And we'll get our hands. So first things, obvious ones I wanted to try. Of course, the splayed out hands. Of course, have just a regular one, I think, from just any of the male figures. And then have the main Nazi guy, his hand, where he was holding up his thing, and he's got the burnt hand. I think the only one that's gonna work for Anakin is gonna be the left one, so we'll do that for him. See if our hands even fit. Let's see. It looks like they might. I'm pretty hopeful. Skin tone's probably a bit different, but honestly, that's not really too much of a problem. But look at that. Look at how much that alone just adds. And I mean, they basically came with this because they had the full splayed out, but this is like fully splayed out though. But this has like your two fingers that aren't fully on there, and also has a little dot in there, which kind of sucks, but maybe I can, here, I'll do a little action shot of Anakin using the Force with the lightsaber. There he goes. Honestly, not bad at all. Looks pretty decent. Not perfect, but pretty good. And even if I'm still thinking, oh, there we go. If we want to get the shot of Anakin and Obi-Wan doing their... Of course, I think their lightsabers are more... more integrated with it. They're like both using the Force very intensely at each other. We might recreate that scene, because since Obi-Wan's gonna have to get the right hand, and I don't know if that's even technically correct. We can, also see how the tone on this is a lot pinker compared to that one. But I know, of course, like his palm doesn't look like that. It might be more accurate with Anakin, but it's not on that hand. And even so, I think even more with Obi-Wan, I think his skin's even more different, so it might not work out really at all, really. But I mean, it's there. Yeah, maybe you can do him like doing like a Jedi mind trick from the back, and you don't really, and that's actually pretty good. That's actually a really nice sculpt. But I do want to get him where he's doing the Force thing. But I'll get him in the actual perspective there. Because I rather prefer have him doing that. I think he was more out, so maybe doing like that kind of thing. It's like the close up and it's like, and then kind of going on there. So very, very fun. And that's still a very good handpiece. I kind of want to see if I can maybe take care of that paint then. I don't know. I do like having that like for him because that's what I actually use for the guy on the shelf. The actual major, whatever his name is, because that's the coolest hand he's got. So I use that, unfortunately. So maybe I won't be changing that. But then there's like different grips. Maybe even I can even use this one for another like holding hand. Maybe that can work for Anakin, a bigger holding one. That's what he kind of needs. Kind of like a better holding hand. Maybe help hold the lightsaber if that even holds. If I can feel it. Nah, it has like a looser grip, so that's not really gonna work. Unless it can be used as a force using hand. Oh, this could be like my choking hand, I guess. But he usually does it with the robot one, but because that's his main hand. But maybe he is like using the force very like calmly. He's like, okay, use the force, like move something very evenly. And then I did want to try these other gloves. I think it's only like this one that really works, but this is just another like a trigger finger hand, so maybe that can work as my force choke hand. Possibly, but it's a gray instead of a brown. And also the detail is not on there, so it might not. It does also look kind of small. But you know, you could probably fake it. If you really wanted to. Just the full thing there, so pretty cool. Not too shabby. Then also just have straight up fist as well we can do, so that's nice to have that option. And Obi-Wan actually will have both options, so that's cool. What Anakin can do. Doesn't want to go on his hand, but there we go. Maybe I might even do that more so. Because that actually looks great. That actually works pretty well. So that's cool to see. That's good. And where he's like pointing it. Being like, you dare stand against me? You dare? only 2, I just noticed, but... But not too shabby. I will kill you. I will bring peace and justice and freedom to my new empire. Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my defenders of the Republic, to democracy. Or whatever Obi-Wan says. Not like I watched that scene like a million times throughout my whole lifetime, especially growing up. Oh yeah, and I can give him the other hand, because they do literally like have a scene where they're just punching each other too, I believe. So it's like, yeah, you can do that. This hand does not want to go in. I guess Obi-Wan's a little bit more tough. But it doesn't look too bad. Even if I'm like holding it there, it's like, it's not bad. Of course, it doesn't really work with the skin tone, but I don't know. And what else could I use? I guess I could use this for Obi-Wan. Alternate hand. Also could do the other hand too. Man, this one does not want to go on. Nothing wants to go on to this other. Yeah, to this side now. Maybe I'll try the force using hand with him. Oh, damn. Okay, there we go, Obi-Wan. But definitely a lot more paler, but honestly kind of works. And I do actually like this tighter grip hand, too. I know for sure these... Okay, and I think for sure the SH Figure Arts ones are not going to fit. Even though I was like kind of hoping and I did want to see. But yeah, I can already tell. Just based on the hole size and peg size, I just know. I mean, I'll bring out one splayed out. I'll bring out a hand for both of them. I don't know about the heads though. I might try out Anakin's. I'm gonna see. Damn, we're almost 2 hours in. We're at yeah, we're an hour and 50, nearly. Hour and 48. Just I'll bring out Obi-Wan for now. Here, I'll give him his. Get him doing his thing. Lightsaber. We'll get Anakin up here again for now. Oh, what am I doing? Get this fixed. You go there. Obi-Wan over there in the corner. Handless, like he's Anakin or something. It's been a while since I've messed with these. Figure arts. Oh, we could do this hand. Alright, here, I'll see if the pointer, the double pointer finger he's got, if that works at all. I highly doubt it, based on the hole size that I'm seeing. Even if Indiana Jones, yeah, and those hands they're tiny. Let's be honest, they're pretty tiny for Legends. That is, actually not too bad, but not too bad size-wise, but you can tell that they're... But there we go. That's not awful, but they're definitely not going to work. I do actually want to see... Here, let's see how this... Okay, so here's the stock head, because I do have custom heads on the figure art. But there's that stock head. Honestly, I do see more Ewan McGregor in this. Even though I think the details are a little bit more accurate with the actual figure arts, but I think sculpt-wise, I think it has it. I think it clearly has it. So we're not going to try with Anakin. We might try with his glove arm. See what the figure arts, see what they bring. Also, well, we'll be looking at them anyways. Well, that's good for Obi-Wan. We'll probably just keep his regular hands on. I don't think we'll do anything really crazy. Unless I do want to do the Force using one. But I kind of prefer right now keeping with the originals. I don't know if I'll do... Oh, wait, no. He's got the left hand anyways for the lightsaber. Hold on. Even though the hands are not going to match at all, skin tone wise, we'll just try it out. Yeah, of course, with Anakin, I think we can get away with it a bit more, even though you can see with the face and stuff there. But with Obi-Wan, yeah, it's a bit more apparent. I do actually like the more tanner skin tone with him anyway, so maybe I do want to try. Maybe do another trigger finger hand, or another holding hand if I can. There's a good one. There's this whip hand. Oh, mess that up too much. Maybe I should have done a more regular holding hand. I don't know. I'll try it out. Oh, there we go. That actually works perfectly well. Hold on. Just a question on if it actually goes in. Bit difficult, doesn't want to work. There we go. Let me see if this works. Man. I mean, it fits in there. It just keeps kind of... I don't know. It's just like... It just doesn't work as well as I thought, maybe. Honestly, that's pretty good. I honestly like that very much with Obi-Wan. Maybe even more so. Like that. That's pretty good. I actually prefer that. There we go, where he's like, okay, I'm done. Force. Yeah, that's pretty good. Anakin, I guess I could just do... Just standing there and watching up the camera. I could do... I kind of like this. Maybe get him, yeah, get him a little bit more personal about it. There we go. Leave their original hands, I guess, to the wolves. But then we'll get out Anakin's. Set up this where it's a bit different. Where it's in like a clam instead of a thing here. But I do mainly want to look at the gloved hands to see if I can get those to fit mainly. I know my wrist pegs are probably going to be too small, but I just want to see the potential because they are more black, a little bit more shinier, but definitely smaller. But I do want to try because I do like it has the force pushing hand. Of course, maybe if I heat it up, I might be able to, but as is, that is definitely not going in. And size-wise, it wouldn't be too bad comparatively. There it is. Oh, sorry, it's not a very good shot. There it is. Now on there, maybe angles of not too bad, but still not perfect, not ideal. You can even see it up there. But if I could, get that on there, I think that might look pretty decent. So that might be something to look forward to in the future. Hopefully more so. But yeah. And then get this hand back on. Get those back in there, get you back in there. And then want to look at his thing there. We'll switch out. Okay, so I have them packed in. So in packaging, I got them with the screaming head, but where you have the switchable hair. I do like the hair, I think, a bit more. The regular face plate, not too different, not too bad. I know it's not going to fit on there. But just for more curiosity for this kind of look. Kind of more so when it comes to Hayden Christensen. Oh, sorry, Ewan. But no one. Hayden looks, I mean, that's not... I mean, of course, the neck doesn't work at all, but that could not look bad. I feel like the neck's like way too long for it. This kind of sculpt there, so it'll probably be like about there. That's decent, but even if I did just a faceplate just to see, I mean, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good likeness, but it's still not perfect. But I might think just for consistency, I think I still prefer this anyways, because it looks pretty good, but it's just not perfect, but it's pretty good, especially like at like specific angles. there they are. Hands a little bit switched out, but pretty much just doing their thing, doing their ways, being Jedi. We'll probably just keep these switched out hands anyways. I'm going to have some fun. At least for now. I might change them back. Of course, when I do my 360, I still need to do those shorts. I just remember that. My bad. I still have like 2 more shorts that I owe y'all. So, we'll get there in time though. So, apologies. I've been meaning to do that. Literally just escaped my mind. I was like, oh, okay, I got the video down. That's good. I mean, like, oh yeah, shit, the shorts. Haven't done the 360 in a minute, but yeah, we'll get up on it before we're through. But we're gonna get all of our stuff out of here, and we're gonna finally get to comparisons, and I think we'll be able to finish them off. So what do I want to specify? That's Anakin, that's Obi-Wan. Okay, so we're gonna move those. Get this. Figure art stuff. Haven't messed with these guys in a little bit. At least the accessories. Kind of just had them posed very specifically. Probably nearly the same way as these ones, but these are a little bit different, but very little things there. Figures of toys. Always, never enough. I know. So Obi-Wan's going to be a little bit short. Maybe I can just get him more so standing, so get more accurate heights. Even then, I'll have to get Anakin probably full tilt here. There we go. You win. You're great. You just have to stand up. All right. Getting onward. Finally gonna get to our comparisons. 2 hours in. 7:44, not too bad. Everything's working. There we go. All right. Let me get out of here, and then we will get to our comparisons. All right. So first things first, my 2 main display Star Wars Episode 3 and just main Anakin and Obi-Wan, really for my prequel area of my shelf. Got the SH Figure Arts. Anakin with a custom head I got off of eBay. See there. Just see how much like the size difference is compared to these figures. And then I got, of course, the Episode 3 Obi-Wan. Yeah, I should skip this down even further. There we go. That feels a bit more centered. There we are. There's my guys. That feels a bit better. That feels better. Alright. But there's the custom head sculpts that come with that. And then this Obi-Wan is a casting cave. Head sculpt there. So I think more based off of the Hot Toys version that has a bit more gray and a bit more detail. And then with the Anakin, a bit more better sculpt, but paint-wise is still kind of basic. But this is him when he's full-on Sith, full-on evil Anakin. But looks pretty good. I will try out, because there is some tack in here. I can see if I can maybe clear it out, but I'll kind of see if I can just put it on there. But that just comes right off. So earlier with the Anakin. And I do think, like, I don't know. I think sculpt-wise, I think this is definitely better. I think it just fills it out a little bit more. But look at that. I mean, not too bad. Of course, the skin tone doesn't really match too much. And also, it's kind of high on the head. But I just pushed it down just a little bit more. So that's honestly pretty good. I think it is definitely closer to what I would think of Hayden Christensen. This is a very specific Anakin. Specifically on Mustafar. He looks a little more beefed up too, so it kind of actually helps it a lot. So I actually do like this. Yep, I'll probably be switching that out. So I'll see from there. But actually, yeah, it actually did open that too, so it can work. But we'll see if the Black Series one, I mean, that's alright. That works well. Of course, it doesn't sit perfectly on there on the head, but honestly, that's not too bad. I do kind of like it. But still, I do like this head sculpt, and I do like using this. Yeah, kind of, because I think I will be using the Obi-Wan one. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Oh yeah, and then still with the tack on there, I can still get the neck back on without any problem, really. So, not bad. Might be my thing, but we'll see with Obi-Wan in a second. Grab those two, switch out these heads for a minute. Yeah, I kind of do like the Black Series a bit, but we're gonna see. Comes to my Obi-Wan. I do actually want to extract that because I do want to actually save all that and not mess it up. Hopefully it hasn't like hardened or like too much through time. I mean, it's there. A lot. See all that? I've been working with that tack in there for so long. I'm not actually damaging any paint in here or on there because I'm trying to be careful also. Quickly do this. potential. More of it out together, but now it's all getting on my pliers. Alright, get one more cleanup of this. I think I'm okay. Alright. I think this will be okay for now. I got most of it, but not all of it. But we're going to see. This is probably going to work better usually. Ooh. Honestly, I could shave in a little bit more. That might actually work pretty well. There it is. Of course, sits a bit high on the head, but goddamn if it don't look good. If it don't work too perfectly, I'll be able to get a little bit more on there if I shave up. Hopefully, it won't be too much. Because it is supposed to be for for the Clone Wars head. Does it even fit on that one? I guess it's supposed to, but I tried it. Since I got this head, oh yeah, that's huge. Of course, that fits better. Of course, that actually fits better on that. But more accurate with Obi-Wan. Even that'd be even more like a legacy. Could I put one? Hold on. I'm thinking. Oh, that just the neck comes off, but it might be something. Might have to try to switch out this Obi-Wan show version. The series, the Disney Plus. Try to see if I can get that head off, but it just comes off at the neck for right now. But we'll get there. We'll get there in time. We'll get to that figure. God damn it. I'm fucking up. Fucking up his dude. Alright. Alright, let's get these back in here. Oh yeah, I do actually want to try the Black Series on the figure arts. Honestly, that's perfect too. That looks amazing. On this Obi-Wan, actually, it kind of actually helps a bit. Head's a little bigger. And skin tone actually matches pretty well compared to the figure, so to the head. Not bad. What the hell? It's almost like that these are the same characters or something, and that they're meant to look a very specific way. I wonder. I wonder if my tiny brain can comprehend that these are supposed to be the same people, but done with different things. But it's mainly with the head sculpt. With these customs, they're all always top tier, brother. Alrighty. There's Anakin again, and we'll get Obi-Wan's stuff back in here. And then the Obi-Wan. And I have had their arms down because their arms, through time, actually do kind of give, because that's why his was up, but it kind of, like it, okay, yeah, it will stay up, but they kind of do kind of flop down a bit, so I don't want to push those shoulders too much. Well, goddamn, like the details on these are super good, but it might work. It might work, especially Anakin, in my opinion. I think the Anakin is like way better looking than this figure arts one. Obi-Wan's still good though. Obi-Wan's great though, but okay. Now getting on with other comparisons with our other main Anakin and Obi-Wans. We got our Star Wars Black Series Clone Wars, and these are the kind of like those retro card ones, not the, what was it? Oh well, this one specifically isn't from the Ahsoka show that had the more fabric stuff on there. Was a little bit more realistic, though. I might want to maybe get that one now just to try it out, but I do like this one. And then, as we saw before, we do have the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. This is the single pack one, because we did open this on a May the 4th, and also Anakin 2 on that same thing, but got these from Rocket Comics. Shout out to those guys. And Anakin also has separate hands there because, of course, his lightsaber hilt is unfortunately broken there. So I just have him with, he's got a split out hand and a fisted hand. I think this one's a Deadpool, and then this one is a some other figure. I don't know for sure, but they work. He's using the Force. And try not to have the arm up too much, because I don't also want to warp the shoulder pad there too. So it's like I kind of have to keep it down a bit too. So, but moving and grooving, he looks great. And then even we'll see with the looks here. Let's see how kind of like this becomes this, I guess, in some case. But I do want to try switching them out. See how well that actually works there. I'm going to switch out his head. It's a little tougher than Obi-Wan's for some reason. Also, I don't want to break anything. Bring too much stress to these toys. Oh, might not be able to with this one, so that kind of sucks. Oh, might. Nope. Just at the neck. Yet again. So unfortunately, cannot switch it. Unless I can get Anakin to switch at the neck, but no, that is not possible. All head, and then, of course, this Anakin's going to be difficult to get back into his socket. Man. Okay. And again. There we go. Jesus. All right. So unfortunately, I'm not going to see that head on that body or vice versa. So, but we shall see with the two Obi-Wans, because those ones, and honestly, I might like the Clone Wars better, even though this one's great, and yeah, it does feel accurate. This one is like, he is like thrive, and he is glowing, brother. But as we saw, the heads are bit more different with how they do it. Of course, with the necks, the main thing is this giant ball compared to this smaller one. So this Clone Wars one will probably sit a little high and loose. But honestly, if you can get the right angle, might not be that bad. But there it is. It does sit a bit high. Maybe do a more horse perspective. A little blonder than I would think, but you know, not too bad. And getting him just looking up. Not too bad, but it does feel kind of blonde. But it does look, it looks good. In person, it doesn't look that blonde. But on camera, like, it looks super blonde. But it is like a very light brown. It looks good. It just might, I don't know. I think it might be better than that one. But we will do, that actually does something. Get the Clone Wars with this newer head. That actually, like, that's like 1-to-1. Like, that is like live action perfect. Now I would want another Obi-Wan so I can switch out the head, but I do like the Clone Wars one on it. It does feel like it is Ewan McGregor. I can see it, but it's like it's a very specific look for Obi-Wan. This is like prime, cleaned up Obi-Wan. Hasn't started graying out yet. Is a soldier, is doing his thing, being a general. Kind of a little bit, in my opinion, it felt like he kind of had his calling during this time. He was like, yeah, this is my peak. I'm ready to do all my stuff. With Anakin, he was just getting to his peak. I mean, he was still peak anyways, but more so. Can I freaking... Okay. There we go. That feels more solid. Maybe, unless I mess with it too much. There we go. Our Obi-Wans, Anakins, all out here. But they look great. Love seeing the Clone Wars and getting with these guys, and especially that we can swap heads, at least for now. I definitely gotta get this Anakin one working. Maybe a bit more. Maybe if I do... He actually like has a whole dumbbell there. That's actually kind of nice and makes sense because he's got longer hair. But we'll do it another time. I don't want to stress it too much. Also, I gotta get going. It's already almost 3 hours. It's 2.5 now. What the hell? What's my thing? At 37%. We gotta go. Alright. Next, we got Qui-Gon. The Mayman's. Obi-Wan's master. Anakin's technically first master, really, too. But they got younger Obi-Wan. You can see the difference there. Definitely can see where the growth happens, and of course Qui-Gon's freaking dead. But I don't have Anakin. Oh yeah, I think they did make a episode 1. Yeah, they definitely did, and then maybe even a Padme, so that makes sense. And then oh yeah, Jar Jar. So definitely have that representation there, but yeah, they're cool, they're sweet. Qui-Gon, we finally have a pretty good Qui-Gon figure. I think that there is the figure arts. That one's pretty good too, but this one is definitely Most definitely the best. For Black Series, at least. Then with later Anakins and Obi-Wans, I don't have me a Ben Kenobi, honestly. Like a very like original, kind of like Star Wars Ben Kenobi, but I do got the TV show Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maybe he's not Ben yet. Maybe he's still Obi-Wan. Maybe he'll, yeah, but maybe he starts using the alias or whatever that name is to him. If that's his original name or not, I don't know. I can't remember. But he's in hiding, but he's got Leia's little droid thing. I don't know why he came with it. If they, like, I guess if they didn't plan to make a Leia, but I got him with his cloak there. This freaking, and maybe we'll try cloaks in a moment. We're gonna see. I might not this stream because might be a little too much happening, and especially with these guys dropping like flies. Okay. Get with your thing. Oh yeah, and then later, of course, Anakin already Darth Vader now, but Darth Vader full on. This is from the Empire Strikes Back set with Luke. His foot don't want to go, but there we go. This, of course, has the wired cape. Has my favorite head sculpt of Vader's. And it's just so fucking badass. Here, I need to freaking. I'm just gonna have him stand there. He needs to just be in a state. Honestly, that still looks pretty good. He looks like Anakin Skywalker. It looks like Hayden Christensen there pretty well. And there's Vader. And Anakin a bit more over there. There we go. Looks so good from this to this. Like, straight up. Why am I taking Anakin? Get out of here, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright, next up, for our last specific Anakin comparisons, we're done with Obi-Wan's now. All my interpretations of him. We'll get on to Anakin's other master as well, but we'll do another Anakin real quick. We got the Return of the Jedi. This is the SH Figure Arts. The first one they got from Stop Motion Rob. Thank you, Rob. And have the Black Series clothes on them. The first Black Series, the first Darth Vader, kind of like New Hope. Well, not the first, but like it was like the anniversary, like retro card version. It was pretty good. I think that's the one. I forget if that's the one that had like the whole like display and everything. I don't know. I'll have to look it up, or I might have gotten like another version. But then this one, definitely the Archive Wave Emperor. Kind of want to see if I can get a new one at some point. I definitely got to get a more prequel specific Palpatine Sidious. Might have to get that Episode 3 version that comes with yeah, that's the Mace Windu in him. That's pretty good, so I'd be tempted, but here's a regular Emperor. Just to get him. Of course, this is still also Return of the Jedi, so a little bit later, but there's my guy. And then now moving on to different Jedi and getting more specifically on with the prequels, we got Mace Windu, his whole damn swagger and hatred of Anakin for some reason. He just doesn't like Anakin. He's just an asshole. Then we got Kit Fisto. And of course, little bonus for this round for himself, a little bit of Yoda. He just fits right there. Maybe I'll put him more with Windu, because also kind of hangs out more with Mace Windu anyways, because he's second. He's second, but Yoda's the dude. He's our guy. You don't fuck with Yoda. He does flips and shits, but this is the Empire Strikes Back version. Where he's old man. He's old man Yoda. Screwing around, not giving a fuck. And next we got Ki-Adi-Mundi. I believe that's his name. The big conehead dude. Another Jedi Knight, I should also say. Or a Jedi Master, if you will. And then got, who is this? Is this Ayla Secura? I can't remember her name right now, but pretty good. Nice having her. A lot of blue lightsabers. This is like 4. Or right there, we only got 1, 2 green ones so far. Jedi with green lightsabers. That's kind of crazy. Lots of blue. 1 purple, of course. Badass motherfucker. Of course, a few red. Of course, with Vader we've seen so far. But we got 1 more with our red lightsaber for our prequels and our stuff. Alright. Get her. And a lot of blue just in general with her. And of course, all in episode 3, who all die. Even though I think the those 2 were from Clone Wars or no, freaking Attack of the Clones. I think that's what they were from technically. So pretty good. But then can't be talking about, you know, our Jedi and the clones without getting Rex in here for Anakin, and of course continue with episode 3 with Commander Cody, where he's got the little Emperor, the Order 66 thing, and he's just like, yep, gonna do that now. And he's got the big blaster. I give him the old one that has the big blaster. And then of course got Captain Rex here. This is one of the, I think this is the Bad Batch version, I believe. This might have been like another one. No, this isn't the Bad Batch. This is like some other, like a later season, I think. Cody, but where he has the little, like the eye thing there, but I like his little built-in like binoculars. But I have those in the back because I prefer them with the clean look there. It just looks so freaking good, brother. It looks so cool. So nice to have these. Of course, they also have their helmets can come off and you can see them. So pretty cool. Even Cody looks cool. It's nice having my little pairs of my dudes. Anakin and Obi-Wan and their clones. And then especially getting Anakin with these guys, with his what is that, 52? Oh, with his squad in the all blue where he was storming the Jedi Temple with these guys. Of course, these are also archive waves, so these are a bit older. Not the most perfect, but we see all the Jedi go up against these guys who are in the temple. But look, pretty great with these dudes. Could definitely do like a whole shot where at least he has like these guys coming up behind him. So pretty good, pretty nice. There we go. That good? Yeah, I like that a bit more now. Okay. Getting on, ending with our prequels and then getting a little bit of the OG trilogy just to have more comparisons and things to look at. So we got Count Dooku here. Of course, I think this is more specifically from episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I'll just keep saying them by their episodes, but he basically looked the same, and he honestly looks great. This is one of my favorite Black Series figures, really, of all time. It's so good. And then even had to bring in Tarkin. Yeah, was it Grand Moff Tarkin or something? Is that his name? Is that Tarkin? I believe so. But Peter Cushing. And they're a very good likeness there. Looks great. Scales well with these guys. And nice to have an officer show with these dudes. Because they did have them during that time. But they were different dudes. And I don't think Peter Cushing was in really anything. Really Clone Wars. He really should have, but I get it. They don't want to probably overuse them too much. But then we got some droids, because of course there's droids. It's during this age. It's during the Clone Wars. And there's just droids everywhere anyway, so it's like, it makes sense. You got some battle droids. And they cut these guys down like butter, like it's nothing. It's more of a gag. If anything, it's just like, okay, they got blasters, but like we got lightsabers and I got the Force, so it's like I know what you're doing. And then keeping with the sequels, with the prequels, getting over. Okay, and then also this is just our original trilogy technically. But we'll get R2-D2 with Anakin. Just makes sense. R2 is his droid, his first droid. Makes sense for him, and then get Jar Jar in here, different alien. But he's in every single prequel movie. Of course, in the first one, he was a big part, but then second and third, a little bit less. And very much needed, so a little bit less, but look good, but we need to get a R5 for Obi-Wan, is it? Or something too. He has his own droid, like his red version that he has in episode 3, so we definitely need that. And then last one's getting on with more of kind of Lucasfilm properties, but still Hasbro, and kind of closest to Black Series style. So we got Indiana Jones here. He doesn't have the golden thing. That fell. It's in the corner somewhere. I gotta go fish it out at some point. But it looks pretty good. And then got Short Round just to have a different kind of scale person-wise there. Because I don't got the episode 1 Anakin yet. Or episode 2. So, need to pick those up at some point. But very, very cool, very fun. And that's where I got, most of these hands is from the Indiana Jones Adventure series. So gotta get Indy in there at least once, because they kind of cross things. They always like to work with each other in some kind of way. But very, very cool. We're gonna get a few figures out here Get some good comparisons. It actually reminds me, I do need to pick up a Grievous at some point. I think there's like a new Figure Arts one or something that's been going around, so apparently that's pretty good, but having little things here and there, and then I know the Black Series one isn't the greatest. It's kind of small. It's not really that. But then there's also the model kit, so I might have to get that at some point just to try it out. So, or maybe I'll pick up that Figure Arts. We'll kind of see. Haven't heard too many people really talk about that, but I know kind of looks great and kind of probably is the best one we got so far. Okay, let me get this lightsaber out of his way. I like how they just parallel each other perfectly. Then we'll get my Clone Wars. Bruh. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. There we go. These custom heads on those figures look good, but we'll get a Clone Wars Anakin. I can get him going. His feet just don't want to. His knees, too. He's got these double jointed knees, and they're honestly not that solid. They're kind of old. So, kind of showing its age a bit. I don't know why he's not. He was standing just okay before. So now he's just not working. But maybe I can get some more of like Marvel Legends hands, too. Well, no, that can't actually work because they don't have the wrist things like that anymore. So what am I thinking? Can you fucking stand? Bruh. This is gonna drive me bananas. Where we're at 30%. We're fine. We're done with comparisons anyways. We're just having fun now. Trying to get my setup going. If this motherfucking thing wants to work. Do you want to be in the picture or not? Seems like you don't. I would prefer if you were. Because you're a great figure and a cool comparison. So fuck you. You're gonna be in this motherfucking picture and you'll fucking like it. God damn it. Give me this. Yeah, I don't want to stress that too much, so I'm not gonna do that. God damn it. Anakin, stand. Can you please? Can you fucking please? All you gotta do, you just gotta just stand there, motherfucker. Please. I'll zoom out. Oh, not that far out. There we go. That feels a bit more natural. Get this Obi-Wan over here. Yeah, a little closer. I know he's gonna fall. Fall. Just fall. If one of these gonna fall, don't let it be the other one. Just stand, bro. It's not that hard. I know. This Anakin is just like he doesn't like standing. There we go. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't do one. Cool. All right. Then we're gonna do. I'll do Vader for sure. Maybe he'll just be in the back. Bruh. Oh, we want come out more. There we go. That's way better. We'll do a. Let's put him over here. The full spread. Because it's Anakin. It's Darth Vader. Then we'll get young Obi-Wan. I'll get the older one in the back here. Older Obi in the back there. Looking all Obi-Wan like a bit. There we go. That little thing there. We'll get Qui-Gon. More important over here. There we go. That's pretty decent. Friggin' right here. Maybe I should do Qui-Gon back here. Then we'll get the old Obi-Wan. Maybe over here. Where the hell are you? It was like way back there. That's okay for now. We want Cody. His clones. Gotta get them. Keep knocking. That Obi-Wan, but there he is. Who do I want to get? I mean, obvious one. I can still get Yoda in here. It's kind of always at the center of it all. Oh, did I even do... I didn't even do Luke and Leia. Hold up. Here's Luke. Here's Leia. Father, daughter, and son. And uncle, I guess. Pretty good. Who do I want to do for Anakin? Because of course we can do Cody for him, but who's going to be on the outside? And who's going to be in the middle? I guess the Emperor would be my main thing. Because he's the Emperor. He's a bastard. Maybe I'll get... Hold on. I'll put Yoda on Obi-Wan's side. Because then I can put... Yeah, because then I can do R2. But we'll get Emperor over here. Because of course that's who Cody's talking to anyways. We can get him in here. He's like, I'm afraid. My grooming has been fully operational ever since he was a child. And I guess even technically his conceiving. Weirdly enough. Where he manipulated the Force to create life. And he made Anakin. At Shmi. Well, inside of Shmi. But there's Code. Yeah, but there's Rex. Captain Rex. Who we else want to get? I can get another Anakin, technically, based on the theming. Oh. The capes. Take it all. Big guy. Move him in a bit. There we go. Get Vader back. Over here. Excuse me. Take up more room. Not worried about that, because that's just another cape that you can just go around by. There we go. Well, freaking his saber should be out. About. There we go. Okay. That's fine. Palps, come back up. Vader, chill out. Everyone chill out. Palpatine. Mr. Emperor, I know you're old and feeble, but please work with me. And if I can fit one more, I guess who's the Qui-Gon? I need to put R2 in here too. R2. Is that what he does? I mean, I know what he sounds like. I just can't do it. I'll get Jar Jar because of size alone, he'll fit. These other monsters. Too bad I don't got like a single freaking Padme. I gotta pick up a Padme at some point. Especially the episode 2 one, I think, is really the best one. Episode 1 is like okay, but it's like it doesn't really do very much for me. But look at Jar Jar back there. He's like, huh? We're doing a thing? Misa wanna be involved. Misa wanna be in the video, in the live stream, in the comparisons, in the end screen. Alright. But I think we will call this good. I think I'll put Luke in here real quick, and we'll put Leia in here because I just feel bad not having them, even though they were in there. Do we want to get Luke? Can I fit Luke? I can fit Luke. Can I get Leia? I prefer to get Leia if I can. There we go. So there they are. That's actually pretty nice. Okay. I like that. So yeah, so we shall end that off here. Thank y'all for joining me on this live stream. Be sure to like this video. Comment what you want to see here on the channel as usual. And of all things, if nothing else, subscribe. Appreciate the support on the channel, on the video, for checking out the Instagram too, because that's where I got a new pic of the thumbnail I used for that video that was taken 2 years ago. Again, so long ago, but I was planning on it, so I was like, got everything prepared, just gotta do the voice recording, and that's what I did. I did it that Thursday night and that Friday morning, and got it all done, edited, finished, and yeah. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. Hope y'all have enjoyed this stream. Been fun going back down the Star Wars lane. Loving these new awesome Black Series figures. I think they'll definitely probably be my main display ones now. Just based on just fully, just kind of like of what I'm all looking for And, based on the rest of the collection where 99.9% is Black Series, so, just how it goes. But we'll see what's going on. Next week, I forget what I'm doing next week, but yeah, I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye. Check out the Instagram as well. Be cool. Do you. See y'all.